Here's the brief. News from the world over this week. It's been another media maelstrom for President Donald Trump. His eldest son, Donald Trump Jr., on Tuesday disclosed a series of emails, including one where he's encouraged to meet with a, quote, Russian government attorney who allegedly had incriminating information on Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton. The emails also suggested that the Clinton dirt was being offered as, quote, part of Russia and its government's support for Mr. Trump, end quote. President Trump, in a tweet, dismissed the ongoing Russia investigation as the greatest witch hunt in political history. He's standing by his eldest son on the matter, declaring him to be open, transparent, and innocent. After the email release, for their part, both the Russian attorney and the Kremlin have denied that she was affiliated with the Russian government. The president's attorney said in an interview with NBC that Trump Jr. did not violate any laws by accepting the meeting. Clinton's vice presidential running mate, Senator Tim Kaine, had a different take. He claims that the Russia matter is now moving beyond obstruction of justice and towards perjury and potentially treason. The United States is looking for the United Nations to take quick action against North Korea after the latest escalation of its missile program and long-range ballistic missile tests. Ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, intends to bring a resolution to the Security Council within weeks, imposing stronger sanctions against the rogue communist nation. The U.S., Japan, and South Korea have agreed to push for new sanctions, though they face an uphill battle to convince Russia and China to join them. Russia has already said further sanctions will not resolve the issue. Experts say North Korea's recent intercontinental ballistic missile launch was a major step forward in its declared intent to create nuclear-tipped missiles capable of hitting the United States. Washington has warned it is ready to use force if necessary to stop North Korea's weapons program, but it would prefer a peaceful, diplomatic approach. And after 9 months of grueling urban combat, Iraq's Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi declared absolute victory in the fight against ISIS in Mosul. The U.S.-led coalition congratulated Iraqi forces on retaking Mosul from the Islamic State. Lieutenant General Stephen Townsend, U.S. commander in the military fight against ISIS in Iraq and Syria, said it was a hard-won victory, but not the end of ISIS.
Make no mistake, this victory alone does not eliminate ISIS, and there's still a tough fight ahead. But the loss of one of its twin capitals and a jewel of their so-called caliphate is a decisive blow to ISIS.
In parts of Mosul, there are still holdouts and sporadic clashes that underscore the dangers still posed by the remaining militants. Approximately 900,000 people were displaced from Mosul during the Islamic State's 3-year reign. And Vatican Cardinal George Pell returned to Australia this week to face charges of sexual abuse. Cardinal Pell, who is the top financial advisor to the Pope, is due to appear in a Melbourne court later this month to confront what Victoria State Police describe as multiple counts of historical sexual assault offenses. In other words, the alleged crimes occurred many years ago. Cardinal Pell had faced similar charges back in 2002. Those charges were thrown out of court as the judge questioned the credibility of the purported victim and his claims. Cardinal Pell is on leave from his Vatican post with the approval of the Pope. The Vatican has issued a statement of support for Pell. More on this later in the program. And some good news. Louisiana Representative Steve Scalise, who was critically wounded last month in a shooting that took place at a congressional baseball practice, was moved from the intensive care unit of a Washington hospital on Wednesday. He remains in serious condition. The congressman has undergone several surgeries since the shooting and spent over a week in the intensive care unit before being readmitted last week due to an infection. Continue to keep Congressman Scalise and his family in your prayers. And a new study of the Shroud of Turin shows that the linen cloth, believed by many to be the burial cloth of Jesus, contains human blood. It shows signs of torture. A research team from 3 Italian universities discovered high levels of chemicals which are found only in the blood of persons who have endured severe trauma. Giulio Fonti of the University of Padua says the presence of these particles point to the violent death of a man around whom the cloth was wrapped.